Hey, I'm CDiinky. And in this video, we are going to be talking about the future of Palworld. Palworld released in early access of January 2024, and just under 2 months after its release, it has gained over 25 million players. Despite the game being in early access, the game looks amazing and looks like a fully finished game, even though it's still in early access, which just shocks me. With over 137 different species of pals, you are able to find these guys all across the world, encouraging you to explore to discover and find new pals and capture them, as there are different pals that spawn in different locations, meaning that the world is not copy and pasted with the exact same pals, just in different areas. And there are no two pals that are almost identical. Take for example, you capture a cadaver, you're going to be able to carry more items and resources with you. You capture a Gamoth, you're going to be able to chop down trees faster. You capture a Lamble, you're going to be able to use its own face as a shield for yourself. There are countless different options to make the playstyle right for you. And funny enough, you can use your pals as slaves in your base to help you craft resources, mine resources, or even breed to make your pals even stronger. And the more you explore in the world, the more later game pals you're going to find, which in turn are more stronger than the early game pals and also are more efficient in your base. And let's not forget, there are hundreds upon hundreds of different servers in Palworld supporting up to 32 players, so you can play with your friends or even random people. Now the main game might just be all about capturing pals and that's it, but there are also dungeons where you can get some different resources and loot for your character. There are fighting alpha pals, which are just a stronger version of normal pals you can capture, and also there are 5 tower bosses in the game, which are the quote-unquote story of the game for now. And as you start the game, like every other game, you start with nothing, and then as you level up, you slowly progress through all the different tiers, getting more advanced and stronger weapons. And with all that being stated, it comes to no surprise that Palworld is sitting in the number 2 spot for the most played game and having the most all-time players at a single time on Steam. It's not because there was a completely different game title that had the exact same thing to Palworld, which almost had a lawsuit which got the game taken down, but here we are now. So everything seems so promising, so why is it now that 2 months after the release of Palworld, the game is only just hitting 130,000 players on Steam? It's not because of the lack of updates, because the devs have been pumping out an update at least once or twice every few weeks now, just doing bug fixes. It's another big game that came out that a lot of players have just jumped onto for democracy, of course. It's not even just Helldivers 2, it's just a lot of different good games have come out this year already, and already in March, which is, I mean, we're 3 months in and there's so many different and amazing games, so it's kind of hard to keep your player base because everyone wants to play and try all these new games. It's probably going to be a bad analogy, but think of a game being like a shooting star, right? Like everyone's watching the shooting star on the sky, it's going to be in the news, whatever, it's in the sky for like maybe a minute or two flying by, and then it just disappears, and then everyone forgets about it until maybe a few weeks later another shooting star comes, which could be in turn that could symbolize another game or another game update. So then people or players start talking about the game, boosting its player count once again, and then it's going to fade a few months later. And one thing that I respect that the devs have said, that they really don't care if players leave their game to play other games while they're waiting for new updates. The devs are going to take their time to make a really good update, and then once the players get bored of the other games, they're going to come back to Palworld, play the update, and the cycle's going to continue. And also the devs released an early access roadmap, I think like 2 or 3 weeks after the game was fully out for all the players, which means they're completely dedicated to the player base. They've already fixed some issues like with the PAL AI pathing, they did it in a few updates ago. They're thinking about doing a PvP, which is going to be pretty cool. I don't know if it's going to be like an Ark Survival Evolved or a Rust sort of thing. They're also thinking of more endgame content such as raids. This might be like the Destiny 2 type of raids, like you're going to need at least like maybe 8 players to fully complete it. They're also thinking about doing a PAL arena, which is going to be PAL vs PAL, so it's just going to be normal Pokemon based fighting, I would like to assume, so there's going to be no players involved. It's just going to see which PAL is the best one. Now when they finally release all these updates, they're also going to expand the areas, so we're able to go to the tree, we're going to have more pals in the game, they're going to expand the game a lot more, probably add an ending like they did with Ark Survival Evolved. I would definitely say it's going to bring back a lot of players and introducing new players, especially with PvP, because PvP nowadays is like such a massive thing. This will introduce a bunch of new content for us content creators and for the people playing the game. Also, it could be some sort of Twitch rivals sort of thing, so instead of Twitch rivals being on Rust, it could also be Twitch rivals on Palworld. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So if you thought this video was going to be me just shitting on the game, saying it's going to die within maybe 3 months, it could possibly happen, anything's possible, but I have very high hopes for this game, and I cannot wait for the future updates. So if you guys made it this far into the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, comment your feelings down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.